Now we got some sound.
All right. Well, people, let's get this party started right, shall we? Let's take a look at our space weather report as I already had showed you. Sorry about the sound issues. 482.4 kilometers per second is the solar wind speed with a density of 4.1. And as I was reading off earlier, we have a solar wind update. The sun is leaking solar wind. Our planet has been inside a disorganized gaseous stream blowing between 400 and 500 kilometers per second for more than 5 days. This has kept Earth's magnetic field in an unsettled state with frequent outbreaks of Arctic and Antarctic auroras, not to mention Steve. He has been spotted. More of the same is expected today, March 27th, as solar wind continues to blow. And looking at our sun, we do not have any sunspots to report on. That is now 8 days in a row without sunspots, taking us to 49 days for 2018. Already almost nearly 60% of the year so far has been spotless. Looking at our KP indices, it is at a 0 right now. It does not get any quieter than that. And our 24-hour max is also sitting at a 3, quiet as well. Wanted to show you the SDO real quick. They are showing some area of concern. As you can see, Earth facing, there's a very weak corona. Taking a look at the motion of our star, we do not see anything large or new developing anywhere. So right now, hopefully we will just get through this solar wind stream that we're in right now, and we will continue to observe any more activity, if at all, from our sun. Okay, so I wanted to kind of touch base on a headline I saw earlier here on the Watchers. I got an email from a subscriber. He's from the West Australia area, and he was asking, if we could do more coverage on Australia. There's hardly anything in the media about Australia, and when I look at Watchers.net, about 25% of their stories are coming out of Australia. So I am going to carry from time to time these headlines that we get from Australia, Queensland, with all the flooding that we've had out there in Western Australia. And of course we had Cyclone Iris, and now this one right here, tropical cyclone Nora dumped extremely heavy amounts of rain over Queensland over the past 24 to 48 hours, causing major floods and emergency evacuations. Many locations exceeded or even doubled their March average rainfall. So imagine getting a month's worth of rain in just 24 to 48 hours. So we are going to try. I know I mentioned the other day it's hard to get all the global news, but we are going to try to do a better job. Maybe Mari and I need to make it a 2-day thing where we make 2 reports a day and try to cover as much as possible with throughout the globe. As far as if there is any weather headlines, we'll make sure we try to include.
Well, I've been, to be honest, there's so much going on, and there's a lot of people covering that information. I have sort of just put my head to the books and have been reading scientific papers, because essentially what I want to do is just break the data down and make it into a usable, easy to understand format for people. So I'd rather spend my time with that, with a lot of these severe events. So that's why you haven't seen many from us in the past
Well,
couple
and
days.
that's true. Amari and I,
seeing snow too. Come on, let's be honest.
we're tired of the snow. But yeah, that is an idea, though, to try to get as much information out to you folks as possible. And at least I can do is Watchers.net and Watchers.news is extremely reliable. And, the least we can do is when we see these in their headlines, we will try to make a report. That way we can get this information out, because we do realize that we are kind of worldwide. We do see a wide variety of our viewers all over the world: Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Russia, of course, Canada, United States. So, we do realize that we have quite a wide audience out there, and we will do a little bit better as far as we can to try to bring that information to you. But anyway, some more information about this. Extraordinary rain, 23 inches of rainfall in 24 hours on March 26. Anywhere from 4 inches to 15.7 inches were registered in 24 hours in the coastal strips of the Cairns to Townsville. So tons of footage here as well. I wanted to play a clip off of Twitter real fast. This is from ABC News. These are not your normal falls. This is due to the flooding there and the extreme amounts of rain they've received. So it's a torrent right now. Mari and I, we find probably our best footage of any kind of storm damage or any kind of footage of rainfall, snowfall, social media, Twitter, and of course websites like watchers.news will have information like this as well. It says beyond Thursday, ex-tropical cyclone Iris is likely to move northwest but remain offshore. There is uncertainty of how this tropical low will develop, but we could see heavy rainfall and flooding once again in the northeast tropical coast from Sunday into next week. So, guys, buckle up over there. We're getting ready to get some more weather from Iris. And I did cover a few headlines today. Actually, let me go out of order. I talked about Iris first, I think. Yeah, tropical cyclone Iris is expected to decay rapidly. And the reason why I reported this was an older story from March 24th, but this talks about how sustained winds of 45 miles an hour with gusts over 54, but the storm is expected to strengthen. That was from Sunday into Monday, but it will decline rapidly. And the reason for that is that the increase of vertical wind shear will be the reason why this storm will quickly lose its strength. So it's very busy over there. Thankfully, this storm is forecasted to fizzle out, so hopefully that doesn't cause any more problems to that region of Australia. It does look like by the 28th, they said they expect this storm to completely fizzle out. So, also making some headlines today as well. I'll go back to the top. Here we go for all you global warmists out there who think the Arctic is melting. Here we have another Russian submarine getting stuck in the ice. I put here today, I'm just going to leave this here for everyone to read. This submarine is designed to break up ice as thick as 2.5 meters. There she blows, folks. The ice cutter herself. We've seen images like this since the end of 2016. They continue to come in. Here's a great little piece here from Robert Felix on his website, iceageinfo.now. He talks about continental cooling here, and this map is a really good example, and rarely do we see, normally we don't get to view this in such clarity. Most of the time we have a lot of missing data, but as you can tell, over land we've seen a lot more cooling than we have in the past of these maps. So significance, obviously Africa still the hot spot, Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, but there has been some significant cooling going on over the last month, and these numbers are from February. This includes the ocean temperatures as well, and there's a lot more blue in the map than there was last month as well. The gray, according to NOAA, is missing data, so take it for what that's worth. But I want to show you the map that reveals the land as well without the water, just to give you kind of an idea of what we're looking at here. Here's a map. Sorry for the size, folks. Let me go ahead and see if I can zoom that in a little bit for you. That's not going to let me. But they took the water temperature change out so you can get a better idea of how much cooling we're seeing on land than we are, of course, in the ocean. So, and this is where he gets his idea from. Continental cooling is happening right before our eyes right now. Go ahead and check it out. I left the link on our website in the front here. Just more information for everyone to digest and kind of take a look at. I try to report on the proof and the truth. Anthony Watts, another website. What's up with that? He put up a little article today that reveals a 23-year-long pause in stratospheric temperature warming. Other than the slight anomaly that we had this year. This is a report that came directly from the GWPF, which is the Global Warming Policy Foundation. And if you click on the link, it will take you to his little blog that he wrote before. He also highlighted 3 things. Among the key findings of the survey are, at the end of 2017, the average global surface temperature was dropping back towards levels before the record 2015-16 El Nino episode. This return to pre-El Nino levels underscores that the recent peak in global temperatures was caused mainly by this oceanographic phenomenon in the Pacific. So not man-made global warming, but this was an ocean phenomenon. 2003, the average global temperature estimated based on surface weather stations has steadily diverged the warm direction from satellite-based estimates without a convincing explanation. So what he's saying is the forecasting from the satellite data is almost double than the data that we're receiving from the surface. So a lot of these things here that are global warmists would like to tell us, even their science isn't lining up right now, or what they call science anyway. Here's the entire report in full right below in the link, the State of the Climate 2017. Like I said, it's from the GWPF, and I think it's really important that, you know, websites like What's Up With That and Ice Age Info, now they promote the truth. They show the entire picture regardless of how it may look, the agenda, if it doesn't line up with what we want to see right now. Either way, there's proof now coming out from the global warming side that they can't hide from, that the numbers are inaccurate. They're overshooting this big time, and like I said, it's starting to become a more and more glaring fact that we are not in a man-made global warming situation anymore. Mari.
Yes.
How are you?
I am just figuring out what's going on in the chat. So, you know.
Good times.
Good times as always, Jake. Always a good time in the chat.
I love
it. I'm in between chatting and then writing Starman a message because I spent my day with my head just reading a lot of different scientific papers, and I was bouncing off information with Starman, so, you know, I'm just like trying to get caught up with communications here.
What a lifesaver he is.
Oh, he's a great resource. He's just a great resource, you know, to bounce information up. I get these crazy like theories and stuff in my head, thinking, what if this connected to that and this and that, and you know, just to bounce it off the great minds in this community. It's everyone. We're lucky to have this community. What can I say? What are you doing, Jake?
I want to mention also, I just wanted to check in with you, make sure everybody's good.
I might have something to say about PNG in a minute, but we'll see.
So taking a look at the volcano here, and forgive me if I don't pronounce this correctly, the pyroclastic flow at Shimodaki volcano finally has happened. And I say finally because this thing has been going off on the regular since the beginning of March. And Sunday, March 25th, it sent plumes of gas and ash 16,000 feet into the air and created its first pyroclastic flow. This volcano has been very active over the past several years, but throw this eruption into the pile of volcanoes that are becoming increasingly more active than ever. And I included the link right here. And check this out, guys. This is called an ash tornado. Yeah. I've seen the snow-nado, and I thought that was a joke. And now I see this, and wow. Talk about some freaky-looking stuff here. Volcano eruptions with ash tornadoes on top. Doesn't get any better than this. All right, so that's what I wanted to show for today's headlines, and quickly I wanted to go over a quick report on the weather. I wanted to stay within this week. Today is Tuesday. I'd like to keep this basic all the way to Sunday, and I do want to mention really quick too as well, we have seen record snows in California this month alone. I was watching a Weather Channel report, and the Sierra Nevadas has received over 230 inches of snow just in March alone, and they've received over 300 for the season. So they've gotten 70% of their snowfall just in March, and there were several locations in California that also had over 200 plus inches of snow just in March. Also, doubling, if not tripling, the output that they've already had for the year. So wanted to start off by mentioning that. And it looks like for now that things are calmed down for California. However, in the Northwest, we've already talked about that. But I just quickly wanted to show everybody that the rain threat that we've talked about over the last few days has come to fruition. And we are seeing storms and showers right now in Texas. And through Thursday, this is just going to be a wet situation. It will slowly move through the south. And by Friday, even the Northeast will get some action of this as well. And they're talking about temperatures cold enough to switch over to snowflakes. So as we get through this week, that system moves off. And by April 1st, we are going to be dealing with snow across the plains. On March 31st, we see a little bit of a snowstorm. We do have temperatures cold enough for snow still. And as we go into April 1st, that snow, unfortunately, will be in the Northeast, and we'll have to keep our eyes on this here in Western New York. It looks like we might have a chance for some accumulation. I did see the European models of this, and they were showing, they weren't showing the same chances of snow that the GFS is showing. So right now, it's just the GFS that's showing this heavy snowfall, especially in the state of New York, on April 1st, April Fool's Day. So definitely a horrible April Fool's joke being played on us for real. Let me go ahead and check out temperatures. And just because we're getting a lot of reports now, people are feeling a little bit more comfortable about the prediction of snowfall to happen in the first week of April. So I've started it here on Sunday, April 1st. And we see a little bit of cold air dipping into the northern plains and the Northeast. But as I move it forward, it does seem apparent that this polar vortex is still trying to push cold air into the lower 48. But as we continue to look at this throughout the week, and this is still another week out, I'm going to have to disagree with rumors of a possible major snowstorm happening in late April, or I'm sorry, late week of April 8th through the 10th. And here's one reason why. We're looking at it on the 10th. These are temperatures in the night on Sunday, April 8th. These are daytime highs. Now, these are temperatures on the 8th that could support snowfall, but whatever does come down in the form of flakes will not be lasting very long. Within 12 hours, we will be well above freezing in the upper 30s. And after that, we'll be in the mid 40s to lower 50s by the 10th, going into the 11th of April. So, I know everybody here in the United States is done with winter. I'm going to end this report right here where we are looking at pretty much everybody in the United States well above freezing for a change, and some warmer weather starting to invade not only just the South, but the Southwest as well. So, with that being said, Mari, did you have an update for PNG or?
I don't have any. I read the new emergency plan for Papua New Guinea, and right now, it's alarming to me that this area, there really isn't a whole lot of data. They're even saying in these reports that they distribute to Red Cross and other relief agencies what the status is going on. There's still a lot of unknowns, even all the way from February 26 onwards. To me, just as an onlooker watching everything unfold, I am personally concerned about civil unrest. A lot of people are blaming the fuel or the Exxon refinery there for this, and it's basically the people against the government against the corporation, and the corporation is looked at in that country as the Americans, unfortunately. So it's not a pretty situation. I'm following it. I've read a few devastating stories about one woman lost 6 children and her husband when the landslide basically just swept over their house. Somehow she was able to survive. There's a lot of devastation there, and it just makes me think, this is a very, it's not as much populated as we are dealing with in the States. These people live very simple lives. They just, they're sort of hunters, gatherers. They have their natural water supplies, and all that has been disturbed. And to see them suffer the way I've been following this, it's hard for me to take in, because I then relate it to, what if that happened in our society? We're not really cut out for that. So, I don't know. It's an emotional ride for me following this information. The report did come out from Relief Web, sort of specking out that they have groups of 20 people trying to help these people, but the numbers aren't getting better right now when it comes to relief efforts, and there has not been any word about the other areas that may be affected by these other large earthquakes affected by this area.
And we'll try to keep you guys updated with this too. And it's just hard to get the information. When we had the 7.5, as Mari mentioned earlier, it took a while to get the information from that. So we'll keep everyone posted and up to date as much as possible. With that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in, taking a chance to get to know us a little bit here. We want to welcome anybody from regionxradio.com as well. Thank you for tuning in, listening to our report. We'll be here every day at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk soon, guys.